This is TWiT.
We have a question from the people out there in the internets. What could you tell us about comparing Drupal to other popular platforms? I mean, I'm super biased, so I would just say, well, Drupal's better, use it. But I wonder if you could go into why people should use Drupal as opposed to, WordPress, Joomla, or what is Drupal particularly good for?
Yeah, I mean, I think what we see is that Drupal is a number one platform for larger and more complex websites. So I would say, actually, if you look at the enterprise segment, roughly 1 out of 10 websites in the world run on Drupal. If you look at the overall market, all the websites in the world, it's about 1 out of 30 websites. So a lot of websites. So the benefits of Drupal are that it's very flexible and I think well architected, and it really is compelling, I think, for more complex websites where maybe you want to customize it. You want to create some modules, or you want to do more than having a blog or a basic brochure style website. If you want to build a web application, interactive elements, that's where Drupal really starts to shine. And also when you need scale and performance and security. Drupal has a reputation of being maybe a little bit harder to use, but in return, you get a lot of power and flexibility, as well as scalability and security. So Drupal powers some of the largest sites in the world, some of the top 50 websites in the world that do billions of page views a month. And at the same time, it powers very small sites, like my blog or something. So it can be used for all of these things, but where it really shines is, I call it ambitious websites in a way, the ones where you can't use a templated approach, you can't use a cookie cutter kind of website. And, obviously, when we compete against proprietary content management systems, we win because of open source, because of the openness, the flexibility, and the community. As I mentioned, we have a very large community, and the community really translates into a lot of innovation. We have 40-something thousand modules or plugins or extensions. So that gives organizations, an amazing starting point where you can literally assemble very powerful web applications in very little time. And so time to market, I would say, that is a result of having a large community of contributors is pretty compelling too. So it's a little bit all over the place, I guess, but hopefully that gives you a sense.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I think Drupal
I was going to say
worldwide is a number 2 behind WordPress, right? So I think WordPress has more scale. It's larger than Drupal, but it also tends to focus a little bit more on the lower end of the market. And Drupal skews towards the high end of the market. And obviously there is a lot of overlap in the middle there. But if you can picture kind of a Venn diagram, where Drupal tends to be for more complex, more powerful sites, and WordPress tends to be for more simple sites with a large overlap in the middle.